I welcome you all in our today's session. In the previous video, we have discussed about the region of convergence and how to find out the Z transform of causal, non-causal and infinite duration sequences. Now in this session, we are going to discuss about the properties of the Z transform. So many of these properties are analogous to those of the Fourier transform. Okay. So in general, we will work with two-sided Z transform because it includes the one-sided Z transform if x of n is equal to 0, and we will write it as x of z is equivalent to Z transform of x of n. So where a specific property applies only to the one-sided transform, we will write this as x plus of z, which is equivalent to z of x of n. Okay, that means if the property is for both causal or as well as anti-causal or two-sided sequence, then we will consider this x of z is equivalent to z of x of n, and if the property is only for the one-sided sequence, then we will consider it as x plus of z. Okay, so it is equivalent to z of x of n. Okay, now let the ROC of x of z be R1 less than modulus of z less than R2, where R1 and R2 are the radius of two circles. Okay, the first property is the linearity property. Now here consider these two sequences x of n and x1 of n and x2 of n. Okay, these are the two sequences. Okay, let x1 of z is the z transform of x1 of n, and it is denoted as z transform of x1 of n. And let x2 of z is the z transform of x2 of n. Then the linearity property states that the z transform of A into x1 of n plus B into x2 of n is equivalent to A into x1 of z plus B into x2 of z. Okay, now we have to prove this linearity property. So here, according to the definition of Z transform, we have Z transform of A into x1 of n plus B into x2 of n is equal to summation from n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, the total sequence is A into x1 of n plus B into x2 of n, the whole multiplied by z raised to minus n. Okay, so here after simplification we have, as A is the constant, we can take it outside the summation. So A into summation from n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity. Simplify the bracket, so it will be x1 of n into z raised to minus n plus B into summation from n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x2 of n into z raised to minus n. Okay, now what is this? This is the definition of z transform of the sequence x1 of n, and this is the definition of z transform of x2 of n. So we can simply write it here as A into x1 of z plus B into x2 of z. Okay, hence our linearity property gets proved here. Okay, now what is the time shift or time reversal property? This is our next property, that is time shift or translation property. Okay, so time shift or time or translation property. Now here we will consider the sequence x of n. Okay, the z transform of x of n is denoted as x of z here. Okay, so the initial conditions for x of n are zeros. Then the z transform of x of n minus m is given as z raised to minus m into x of z. Okay, this is the time reversal property. Okay, if the z transform of x of n is provided as x of z, then the z transform of the shifted version of x of n or the time shifted x of n, it is x of n minus m, is equal to z raised to minus m multiplied by x of z. Now how to prove this? Okay, so here m is positive and or the negative integer. Okay, so how to prove this? Here we will consider z of x of n minus m, that is z transform of x of n minus m. According to the definition, it is nothing but summation from n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, then x of n minus m into z raised to minus n. Okay, so this is the equation for z transform. Okay, so we will simplify this. How it will be? We will multiply the equation by z n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n minus m into z raised to minus n into z raised to m multiplied by z raised to minus m. Okay, so by multiplying the total equation by z raised to m into z raised to minus m, this total term is equivalent to 1. So it will not affect on our equation. Okay, now here we will combine the z terms. Okay, so we will as this term is independent of n, we will take it outside. So it will be z raised to minus m summation from n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n minus m into z raised to. Okay, combining these two terms, what we have here, z raised to minus n minus m. Okay. So here what it will be? Here we will consider, we will replace n minus m is equivalent to L. Okay, so here as n tends to infinity, L also tends to infinity. Okay, so our equation now gets converted into z raised to minus m summation from L is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of L into z raised to minus L. Okay, so what is this now? This is nothing but the z transform of the sequence x of L. Okay, so here we can write the z raised to minus m into x of z. Okay, so this according to the definition, x of z is equal to summation from, and here whatever may be the variable, you can take it as n, m or anything, it will be the z transform of the sequence. So it is x of z. Okay, so z raised to minus m into x of z here. Okay, so this is nothing but the z transform of the shifted sequence. Okay, so this is for the two-sided sequence, z of x of n minus m. Okay, now here we will consider one more condition for the time shifting. Okay, so we will consider this as the condition 2. Okay, so here if a one-sided sequence x of z is equal to z transform of x of n, then okay, first thing is when z transform of x of n minus m is equal to z raised to minus m of x plus z plus summation from k is equal to 1 to m x of minus k into z raised to k. Okay, and also for the second condition, z of x of n plus m is equivalent to z raised to m x plus z, that is one-sided sequence, minus k is equal to 0 to m minus 1 x of k into z raised to minus k. Okay. Now we have to prove these two conditions where m is the positive integer. In the previous case, m is either positive or negative integer where we have considered the two-sided sequence. Now we are going to consider the one-sided sequence. Okay, so here we will consider the positive shift as well as the negative shift. Okay, so considering this, the proof of the first thing or first time shift is here z of x of n minus m is equal to summation from n is equal to 0 to infinity x of n minus m z raised to minus n. Okay, according to our definition. Okay, as it is a causal sequence. Now, here again the same thing we are going to do here. The summation from n is equal to 0 to infinity x of n minus m into z raised to minus n into z raised to m into z raised to minus m. Take the z raised to minus m outside. So it is z raised to minus m summation from n is equal to 0 to infinity x of n minus m into z raised to minus n minus m. Okay, so here now what we are going to do? Replace the n minus m is equivalent to L. So our equation now becomes z raised to minus m summation from L is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of L into z raised to minus L. Okay. So again, by splitting this equation, now it exists from as L is equivalent to n minus m. Here it will be, after replacing the value of n is equal to 0, the lower limit for L will be equivalent to minus m. Okay. Here if you replace the value of n is equal to 0, L is equivalent to minus m. So our lower limit is equivalent to minus m to infinity. Okay. So here what we are going to do? It is z raised to minus m. Okay. So we are going to split this total equation. So it will be summation from L is equivalent to 0 to infinity x of L into z raised to minus L plus summation from L is equal to minus m to minus 1. Okay. So we have to add this sequence to our equation or total duration. So it will be like this. Okay, so here now our solution becomes z raised to minus m. This is nothing but the z transform of one-sided sequence. So it is z plus x plus of z plus summation from L is equivalent to 1 to m x of minus L into z raised to L. Okay, so here this is the proof for the first one-sided sequence or causal sequence. Now we are going to consider our second condition. What is the second condition? Z of x of n plus m is equivalent to summation from n is equal to 0 to infinity x of n plus m z raised to minus m. Okay, so according to the definition will be like this. Okay, now here again the same thing we are going to do. Okay, it is z summation from n is equal to 0 to infinity x of n plus m into z raised to minus n to z raised to plus m into z raised to minus m. Okay, we will now take z raised to m outside. Okay, so we will take z raised to m outside. It is summation from n is equal to 0 to infinity x of n plus m into z raised to minus n plus m. Okay, so here instead of n plus m we are going to replace it by L. Okay, so when we put n is equal to 0, L will become equivalent to m. So what is our lower limit now? It is equivalent to m, to infinity. So z raised to m summation from n is equal to m to infinity x of L into z raised to minus L will be. Okay, now again simplifying this or splitting our equation, we have summation from n is equal to 0 to infinity x of L into z raised to minus L plus, it should be minus summation from L, should be L, so it should be L is equivalent to 0 to m minus 1. Okay, x of L into z raised to minus L. Okay, so after simplification, what we have? Z raised to m. Now this is the z transform of the provided sequence. So it is x of z minus summation from k or L is equivalent to 0 to m minus 1 x of L into z raised to minus L. Okay, so this is our provided condition. Okay, so this is nothing but the time reversal property. Time shifting property. Now we are going to see the multiplication by an exponential sequence. The third property is nothing but the multiplication by an exponential sequence. Okay, so if x of z is equivalent to z of x of n, then z transform of a raised to n into x of n is equal to x of a raised to minus 1 into z. Okay, so this is the multiplication property here. Okay, if the z transform of the x of n is denoted as x of z, then the z transform of a raised to n into x of n is nothing but the z transform or x of a raised to minus 1 into z. Okay, so according to the definition, we can say that z of a raised to n into x of n is equivalent to summation from n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, a raised to n x of n into z raised to minus n. Okay, so simplifying this, we have n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n multiplied by a raised to minus 1 into z raised to n. Minus n. Okay, so here it will be x of a raised to minus 1 into z. Okay, so z transform of a raised to n into x of n is equivalent to x of a raised to minus 1 into z. Okay, so this is the multiplication property. Now, what is the ROC of this? Okay, the ROC of this sequence is given as modulus of a into r1 less than modulus of z less than modulus of a into r2. Okay, so this is the ROC of the provided sequence. Okay, so here we have seen the three different properties of the Z transform. First is the linearity property. The second is the time shifting or time transversal property. In that case, we have considered the two-sided sequence, the causal sequence as well as the anti-causal sequence. Okay, and the third property is the multiplication by an exponential sequence. Okay, so here the x of n gets multiplied by the exponential term, that is a raised to n. Okay, so the z transform of that is equivalent to x of a raised to minus 1 z. Okay, so these three different properties we have considered in our today's session. Okay. In our next video, we will see the remaining properties of the Z transform. Thank you.